I wanted to make this quick video because I appreciate it when other people take time to run these tests and do these battery comparisons and try to share information. I mean, I don't own most of these devices, so there's no way I could do it. So it's nice to see when people take the time to either purchase them themselves, or if the actual device manufacturer sends it to them for that, for them to do their benchmarks and reviews or whatever. In addition to telling you to subscribe, I'd like to tell you about today's sponsor, Minute Rice. Now I'm going to have absolutely zero B-roll of me putting one of these in the microwave and showing you how to cook minute rice, but I would tell you that these little packages save a lot of time. Now, for those of you who have ample amounts of time, but just simply don't feel like watching rice boil in a pot, something like this works. You take one of these little cups out, pop it in the microwave for 1 minute, and you're good to go. I've been eating these now for about 2.5 weeks, and I really, really enjoy them. You have your regular white rice, you have your brown rice, you have jasmine, you have wild rice. I think there's a brown rice and wild rice combination, and basmati. I might have missed one, but they're all pretty good. And for between 75 cents and $1 per serving, I think it's something you should consider. So like, subscribe, comment on the video, and consider purchasing some minute rice. But I think, yes, I have gotten to the point where I am just so anti-iPhone that a lot of my videos are that. And that's probably because where I live, the iPhone is extremely popular, but it's just every time I see somebody talk about it, I don't think they understand what they're actually reviewing. So here we have a still image, and then we're going to press play on this video in a moment. But as we can see, we have all the battery capacities. So not size of the battery, not the physical size, but the battery capacity. And as I've pointed out in other videos, you can have a bigger phone with a lower capacity battery, and then of course the inverse of a smaller phone with a higher capacity battery. So the iPhone screen is the biggest of all these ones being compared. Dimensionally, in terms of the actual form factor of the phone, is it the biggest? I don't know. But I just think that's the first thing I always need to try to convey, is that just because the phone is physically bigger or smaller doesn't necessarily mean that correlates with the capacity of the battery. Cool. But as you can see though, the iPhone's battery capacity is the lowest out of all of these by far. And I will tell you, you should probably go watch the gentleman's video, but you can see where the iPhone lies in terms of battery percentage remaining when looking at the rest of or comparing it to the rest of the competition. So 63%, and the only thing that's above it is the Xiaomi 15 Pro with the Snapdragon 8 Elite, which I don't think that's, yes, it is the 8 Elite, okay. But all the other battery capacities are lower. Now, while I was watching this video, for a while I was just like, there's something off. I can't necessarily tell you what it is, but there's something off. And then you have to look at other things. So when it comes to screen resolution, I mean, please correct me if I'm wrong, but it looks like the iPhone screen resolution is the lowest. So yeah, please correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm not going to do any math, but just looking at the first number and then the second number, 13s, and all the other ones are, well, that's a 13. But it just looks like the resolution on the iPhone is lower. Okay, so that's one thing. So when it comes to battery test and battery drain, if the screen resolution is lower, then the battery theoretically should last longer. The next thing is refresh rate. So they all say 120 hertz. However, and for some reason, for the iPhone, it says default 120 hertz. Now, what I can imagine this individual means is, well, ProMotion is on, and ProMotion causes the screen refresh rate to vary. It can ramp up to 120, but then it can scale down to 60. Theoretically, it should be able to scale down to below 60, but from what I've seen other YouTubers do, when they actually download another app and then post or keep the screen and keep the screen's refresh rate visible, it was shown that it only got down to as low as 60. So my theory in this test, and I guess really just with the iPhone, is that when he's going through all this, all the other devices are operating either at 120 or varying between 120 and something else. I almost feel, and when I play the video, you'll see what I'm talking about. But I almost feel that the iPhone's refresh rate is just stuck at 60, and then that's another reason why the battery capacity remaining seems higher than that, or the battery life is higher. So let me press play, and then we will see what I'm talking about, and then I'll come back and start talking. In fact, I might even talk over it. But let's go ahead and press play, and hopefully you can see what I'm talking about. So he's going to theoretically surf the web, but look at the screens of all of them, and then look at the iPhone. That refresh rate is different. Look at the two OnePlus devices, and of course the refresh rate of the screen, and then the not capture rate, I forget what it's called, but the frame rate of the camera recording this. Those OnePluses are going faster than that iPhone. So I really feel that the iPhone's refresh rate is lower and its screen resolution is lower. That's why it's theoretically appearing to have a longer battery life. So it's going to go for a few more seconds, and then I'll stop, and then I'll press pause. But there's something different about the iPhone, and it's a worse device. So yes, he is doing his test right now, and we are able to see that the battery's life is longer, or there's more left. But I am quite confident it's because of two things. The screen's resolution is lower, which I said at the beginning, so now I'm just kind of repeating myself, but the screen's resolution is lower. And again, I can't prove it, but I feel that the screen is capped. Its refresh rate is capped at 60, which is why when he was recording this particular part of the test, the OnePluses were just flying through. But that iPhone screen, it's different, and I feel like it's performing worse compared to the other ones, which is why the battery is able to last so long. So let me know what you think. If you have any opinions or reasons why this is, but no, I'm pretty sure I'm right. But I'm open to being wrong. Just lower resolution and lower refresh rate leads to longer battery life.